Hello and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. This week, I'm Akeredolu Zubaku. Today on the program, bandits kill 51 in Kaduna as Catholic priests protest over killings. Wants President Buhari to seek help. Governor Akeredolu draws battle line with APC faction in Ondo State. Says time for reconciliation is over. And later on the show, President Buhari urges Nigerians not to panic over coronavirus entry into Nigeria. Says government made efforts to prevent it. I'll be hanging out with Babajide, Kolade-Otitoju, and Gani, Kayode-Balogun. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. Kaduna State is still reeling from the grip of armed banditry. At the weekend, armed bandits attacked 4 villages in IGABI local government area of the state, killing 51 people and leaving many injured. However, some Catholic priests who protested against killings across the country in Abuja called for a stop to the carnage. They want President Buhari to seek foreign help to end rampant killings in the land. Let's hear from Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State on the killing.
It is sad that we have lost many lives here, but it could have been worse. They could have wiped out the entire village if the security agencies had not responded very quickly. They buried 41 corpses yesterday. The other village that we passed through, 3 people were killed, and others in the other surrounding villages. These bandits attacked these villages and needlessly killed many people and destroyed property. In Kaduna State, we have zero tolerance for bandits. We don't give them amnesty. We don't negotiate with them. We have asked the security agencies to just wipe them out. Until this banditry is declared an insurgency and they are fought with the same ferocity as we have fought Boko Haram, they will continue to attack vulnerable communities like this and kill our people.
Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai changing gear there, saying that, look, we don't negotiate with bandits, that we are going to descend on them and wipe them out. And that seemed to be different. He's talking about, he's talking with confidence, Babajide. Now, do we have the firepower to match these people, to wipe them out the way he has stated it?
Well, he wants them wiped out. I want them wiped out as well. He does not want amnesty for bandits. I also do not support amnesty for bandits. I want banditry defeated in Kaduna. Today, the #1 killing field in our country is in Kaduna State. When we talk about it, they say we are exaggerating. What? It's a good thing that the governor himself is confirming that 41 persons were killed. In another country, if 41 persons who are not armed robbers, innocent people get killed, a national mourning will be declared. But what we have in our country is a situation in which even the deaths of our compatriots hardly move us anymore. Huge numbers of people get killed. This same Kaduna State, in the last 6 months, dozens and dozens of people have been killed. Bandits break into people's houses and take them away. In this same Kaduna State, even parts of urban Kaduna, this is happening. So it's unacceptable. I've said it, I've vowed that until the killing stop in Kaduna, I will not stop talking about it. Nobody will be able to stop me from talking about it, because we can't continue to watch people dying. You can choose to call me any kind of name that suits your fancy, but as long as people get killed with the regularity with which they are being killed in Kaduna, we will continue to talk about it. We will continue to challenge the leaders to do what is right. Wipe them out, fine. We want to see that happen quickly. We want to see that happen quickly. I'm happy that he went to the scene, because some of the last sets of killings, we didn't see him there. I'm happy that he went there. But he has to work with the federal government to ensure that this killing stop. Let the security agencies be on top of their game. It's clear what the governor wants. What the governor wants should be in line with what the security agencies will do. There should be no sympathy. There should be no sympathy to elements like this who are wasting people's lives for nothing. Innocent people, you come into their communities and waste them. The unfortunate thing is that before security agents intervene, so much harm will have been done. Look at, because a lot of those communities, you find that they are not easily accessible. I've been to some of the communities like this, not easily accessible. So even before information reaches the security agents, they will have killed so many people.
And the bandits might operate for hours.
Yes. We've come to steal livestock. We've come to steal people's food.
Produce, yeah.
You know? So when you come and do this kind of thing, you come to kill people, yet you set ablaze all their houses. There is the particular local government that these bandits in Kaduna went to. After killing vigilance men, they surrounded 16 villages and told the people, you either leave these villages or be ready to die. How can that be happening in our country?
I was told that there's one particular place, even in Katsina, that they told them that they must raise a so amount of money,
Yes.
that they are coming.
No, it's becoming normal. Basari local government in Katsina is a killing field. It's a killing field. Basari local government in Katsina is a killing field. Shiroro local government in Niger is a killing field. Our people are being killed as if they are not worth more than flies. Our people are being wiped away like flies. And when you talk about it, they will say, no, Jide has come again. Why won't Jide come again?
Underreported. Most of it you don't get to.
Even the underreporting, you see some habitual liars telling us that, oh, is the press that is blowing it. Has El-Rufai himself not go to confirm that more than 40 persons died? Were we the ones who invented the story? We are saying that banditry, just a few days ago, Abba released pictures of bandits arrested in Kaduna. If we say, oh, the Kaduna is a killing field, is on the headquarters of bandits, oh, they will say Jide has come again. You can say what you like. But the truth is that people are being killed in this state needlessly, and we'll continue to talk about it. The senator representing Kaduna Central, Ubasani, has also issued a statement that the security architecture of the country must change, that people should not be killed in this manner. So when Jide talks about it, that is where they now look at it in another dimension.
GKB, people are the Catholic bishops in their meeting yesterday said that the president can even seek for help. That the killings around the country, both in the northeast and some other parts of the country, is unacceptable.
It's not only unacceptable; it's also an indictment on whoever is controlling the architecture that you mentioned. Because it's obvious that our people are no longer protected. The basic job of a government is basically security of lives and property. Yeah. That, of course, is what we now look at in the past, especially in some areas of the north, where it is now normal for people to be killed like chickens in this manner. And what is even more painful is that there are no consequences. You understand why the governor is saying what he's saying. This government has hidden their hand in the sand when it comes to declaring banditry as basically as an insurgency. This is the first call from a man who is involved that should happen. We should get to a point where we no longer pretend that they are just bandits. No, they are insurgents. Because these people have made up their mind to be a clog in their wheel of progress. And what they are doing is not acceptable anywhere in the world. I agree with the Catholic bishops. Prayers will not do it. It's not by prayer. It's not by prayer. It is time to be realistic, basically. And what we need to do is find solutions. If people in vulnerable areas are not protected, and you think you are not concerned because it doesn't really get to you, these people are right in the middle of Kaduna metropolis. They are attacking people going to board the train. How close to you can that be? Oh. And you keep pretending that these things are just isolated cases somewhere that doesn't concern you. And don't forget, Kaduna is just about 100 or so kilometers from Abuja. So even those in Abuja who think they are safe this will get to them. So the Catholic bishops are very correct. If President Buhari thinks that he can no longer, or the army think that he can no longer solve this problem, it is not a thing of shame to ask for help. You ask for help that, look, if you have people that can do it, Jonathan did it, if you remember. He asked for help, and he got help from certain quarters to help him curtail this. But so far, what we need to do is solve one problem. Accept that we have a problem. And that's what El-Rufai just did.
Now, what El-Rufai just did, Babajide, taking it a step further, looking at Niger State, looking at Katsina, looking at El-Rufai just said something that is bold, that we are not going to negotiate with them. Meanwhile, some other governors are negotiating with these people, but it has not proven effective so far. So, what do you make of this?
No, it's effective in terms of stopping the killings. You cannot say it has not been effective in Zamfara, because Zamfara used to be the capital of banditry. Kaduna has taken over now. When last did you read that bandits kill people in Zamfara? Let's face it, in Zurumi local council of Zamfara, they used to kill people like flies. There was a day, a market day in Zamfara state, when 91 persons were killed. So this governor got there and he felt he had to negotiate with these people, and he did it. You can't say people are still being killed in Zamfara. There was a time that we used to debate Zamfara, talk about Zamfara every week here. We've stopped because there's nothing to report. Killings are not there for you to report, and you can't, as a journalist, invent killings because you want Zamfara to sound amongst the words that come out of your mouth. If killings have stopped there, you know, it is not a permanent solution. You understand? It is not a permanent solution. But he has stopped the killings. The president even praised the governor. It's there, it's on record, that the president praised him. And the IG was involved in the negotiation with the bandits in Zamfara. They found peace. It may be peace of the graveyard. You can call it peace of anywhere. But the killings have stopped. The picking of people by bandits, kidnapping of people. Remember the case of those twin sisters that were kidnapped. One of them was going to get married in Senator Kabru Marafa's constituency, and they kidnapped them. When you talk to people like Kabru Marafa, because he was involved in paying ransom at different points, you will notice that there's a respite. So it's not as if there has not been anything achieved. Even in Katsina, I can tell you that if not for the truce that was in place, it will be worse. There will be cases where some individuals will, against the spirit of the agreement, will go and be killing people. That has happened in Zamfara, Katsina. But the frequency with which they were killing people in Katsina before the government then decided to negotiate with them, no fair-minded person will say that frequency has been sustained. Of course, that would be a lie from the pit of hell. So we can give them credit at least for doing something. I asked the governor when I went to interview the bandits that repented in Shimfida, in GBI local government area of Katsina State. I said, why are you negotiating with bandits? He said, I took a note to protect people, not to watch people being killed. So in his position as the governor of the state, he does not have control of the armed forces and determine how they are deployed and all that. But in his own way, he is looking for a way to minimize the carnage, to stop the bloodletting. And then he decided to risk his life to go into Rugu Forest, to go and meet these people at great risk to his own life. And then met, and just to stop the killing of my people. That reduced, or even for a long time, we didn't hear about killings in Katsina until it happened recently. So for me, it's not the permanent solution. The permanent solution is to exterminate these guys. Totally. I believe that time will come. The Kaduna governor has refused to do anything to negotiate with them. But you can see that they've taken the battle to his state. So how many more people will be killed before we find a solution in Kaduna? That is the question that we need to ask. because even the dimension of the killings in Kaduna is a lot worse than in other states, because in Katsina, in urban centers in Katsina, they will not go into people's homes and fish them out. But we are seeing it happen in Chikun local government. Chikun local government is urban Kaduna. They go into your house, bring you out, and take you away. So it's worse in the state now. And for me, military solution is not always the only solution available. If it was the only solution available, the America would not be negotiating with the Taliban in Afghanistan after all these years. So there are times when you use the military option and it doesn't work, you then try to find another option. The hemorrhaging of human lives in Kaduna has to stop. We want to see it stop the way it stopped in Zamfara. So it has to stop. God did not create human lives for people to waste wantonly the way they are doing in Kaduna and some other places. It has to stop.
The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and properties.
Yeah.
And if we have a situation whereby bandits are telling villagers that we are coming, expect us. If you don't give money, we'll kill you. And we've not seen government doing anything like to salvage these people. How can bandits be writing that they are coming and they will come?
Well, like I said, the entire structure has fallen apart. And that is the reality that we face now as a country. They can do that. I'm sure if you read the Somalia story, realize that if we are not in the middle of it, we are almost at the end of it. Where people started creating fiefdoms, basically to ensure that they are drawing lines within towns where they control. And that's where we are going. If things are not done right now, I foresee a future where governors, already, a lot of people in Abuja cannot go. But I'm talking about even governors not being able to go to parts of their states because the bandits are effectively in control of these states. And that's why people are now looking for self-help. The vigilantes and all the rest in the north are basically a product of the failure of the security apparatus to protect them. And we have no excuse, both as a governor, as a president. If you cannot protect your people in this day and age, it is not acceptable. But you and I know that even with this one, nobody will be sanctioned, nothing will come out of it, and we'll go on as usual.
Babajide, let's look at the role of community policing. Let's say we have something like Amotekun in place in a place like Kaduna. Now, I've seen these bandits, I've seen what they are, police parading them, and I've seen what they can boast of in terms of firepower. Yeah. They're not operating like ordinary armed robbers. No. They're operating like full-blown terrorists.
If you ask Abba Kyari or the IRT team, one of the worst fatalities suffered by his team was in Kaduna State. He sent his men to go and investigate kidnapping. And then they descended on them and slaughtered those policemen.
Doha. Let's take this call from Qatar. Thank you for joining us. Akim is calling us from Doha in Qatar. Thank you, Akim. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, yes.
Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah. It's a pity. Yes. Actually, I'm one of your... My name is Akim. I'm calling from Doha, Qatar here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's very unfortunate that things like this is happening in Nigeria. I don't know what the governors are doing with the security vote they are collecting. It is bad and it is wrong that people are being killed like fowl. I don't know. It's more easier for the governors to tell the security people, this is what we want us to do. If you negotiate, you want to negotiate with them, negotiate with them. If you don't want to negotiate with them, you should have a plan. There should be a contingency plan to prevent people from being killed.
Thank you for your contribution, Akim, all the way from Doha in Qatar. Babajide was okay.
We were talking about the weapons at the disposal of these guys. So I was telling you that if you had the chance to speak with Abba Kyari, one of the worst fatalities suffered by his team was in Kaduna. They went there to investigate kidnapping. And the militants, the bandits in Kaduna ambushed these IRT men and slaughtered them. So before you can ambush one of the best trained sets of policemen and inflict huge casualties on them, as Abakari's men suffered that day, you must have superior firepower, superior weapons. Now, let's also go to what happened in Shimfida, the village that I visited to do that story on bandits in Katsina. A combined team of the army and civil defense and police was overwhelmed by bandits. They set ablaze. I saw it by myself.
A combined team.
Yes, they set ablaze. You will see from the videos that I even uploaded. You see army vehicles set ablaze, civil defense vehicle set ablaze. When our own security agencies could sense that they had been overwhelmed and clearly overpowered, they retreated before those guys now moved into the village to go and slaughter people and then kidnap many people, including women. So this is some of them have RPG. They go around with RPG. You know what an RPG will do if you have it. It gives you more than 20 times the edge that merely carrying an AK-47 will not give you. Because within like a 40-meter radius, it will do maximum damage once you fire it. It's like a small bomb with tremendous TNT, tremendous explosive devices inside. So this is the thing. That some of them have it. You even see they are flaunting it. So look at the attack on the
helicopter.
The convoy of the Emir of Potiskum in Kaduna, in the same Kaduna State, on Zaria Road. Look at what they did. Killed a security man, killed some other people. So they have firepower, so we have to be ready. You see all the weapons. The other day, Frank Umba paraded weapons that they seized from kidnappers and bandits. I was really scared. Because if these guys had all of this, and they still have so many of them that we've not detected, and we could recover all of that from them. It's terrible. They have firepower, and our people who have been, the way community policing can effectively work to tame these guys is if they work hand in hand with the police. So the combined intel that the community, the vigilance people within the community can provide, and the firepower of the police combined with some of the weapons that the community police too can offer will give us maybe an edge over the enemy. But the way they are, it's difficult for our people to confront them.
GKB, Akim was talking about security votes, and I was looking at it that it goes beyond security votes. You don't even have the manpower to even do that.
The El-Rufai even said it the other day that each of them contributed, each of the governors,
yes,
7 governors contributed
800 million.
They contributed 100 million
100
for
million.
the police.
So for
this
each
matter.
of them, yes.
I heard what Akim said. Was you and I know that constitutionally the governors have limited control over security are deployed. That's the reality that we face. But having said that, I think there is a need that we are running away from, seriously. The Nigerian police is outdated as well as constituted. It's outdated, it's anachronistic, and it's archaic. It's time to think of new ways to police Nigerians. They don't have the facilities, they don't have the tools, they don't have the men. Just recently, the IGP was complaining how much he will need and how many men he will require.
250,000 assault rifles.
No country does that because no country has a standing police of that nature. Most policemen all over the world are based in their communities, and the figures ebbs and flows to the needs of their community. So it's not really a central figure that is needed. It's basically that Lagos at 20 million may require at UN statistics of 7%. Require about 1 million policemen. A state like Ekiti may require less than 50,000. So, because the moment you give them that figure, They will still be deployed in such a way that will not solve the problem they are meant for. They will still be taken to a particular area and be used as bag carriers, ADC to wives of politicians.
Oh, umbrella carriers.
Umbrella carriers. As guys maybe. That is not what we need. Let's break down this police. It's dead and buried. Let's come out with new ideas. Devolve power of police to the states or wherever you want to devolve. Let people employ policemen that can protect them. Obviously, I do not need more policemen than they require because they're very large states. But even with that, the governor can only make a grandstanding like he did. He doesn't have the power, ultimately, to make any difference.
Still to come, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu draws battle line with APC faction in Ondo State, says time for reconciliation is over. We'll be right back after this breather. Stay with us. It's a multi-award winning program, Journalist Hangout. Those who fail to learn from history are definitely condemned to repeating it. It is about 7 months to October 10 governorship election in Ondo State. Yet, bickering is still the order of the day among the All Progressive Congress, APC, gladiators in the Southwest. Now, addressing APC supporters in Akure recently about his ambition to seek re-election, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu told the gathering that a battle line has been drawn between him and a faction bent in stopping him. Governor Akeredolu said the time for reconciliation is over between him and the group known as the APC Unity Forum, Zamfara APC Unity Forum there. Babajide, now, looking at what happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you had this set of people that, contested within the APC and the likes of Olushola Oke, the likes of Segun Ibrahim, the likes of Professor Ajayi Borofis, the likes of Aketi himself, and they all came out and they slugged it out in the primary, and Aketi emerged the governor. So a lot of people think that, okay, after the election, there will be efforts will be made to close their ranks so that APC can be strong. We also have Isaac Kekemieki. I think it's also ready to throw his hat in the ring too. But right now, the governor is saying that, look, based on my performance, based on what is on ground, I have done well and I'm good to go, regardless of if the house is in order or not.
No, you know that Aketi naturally is a very stubborn person. He speaks straight from his mind. The Yorubas will say that he doesn't know the things to not say publicly. That's the way it's been. And as a politician, he can hurt you badly if you speak in a manner that does not suggest that you are diplomatic. Great politicians are diplomatic people. Aketi is a very, very direct person. He's worked for the people. But as we have seen, with the election that Kayode-Balogun lost the first time, sometimes you can work hard, work for the people and still not win an election. You can't say, for example, especially in terms of roads, that Bindo didn't work in Adamawa State. No, you can't say that because I was there. So sometimes a governor can work hard. If he does not get his politics right, he will be defeated.
That's what happened to
because
Ambode too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we are all witnesses to it. You can't say that Ambode did not work. When you go even to the airport, the international airport, it's an abiding joy to see that road. He said, yes, he said he was going to do it, walled on both sides, in a manner that gives us joy as a people. Because in the past, when you are coming to Nigeria, you just be angry, So, but now, the gateway into the country has been transformed.
The first impression.
Yes, and he did it. You can't say that it did not work. People change the way they look at things when they see that, oh, the circumstances have changed. But this same Ambode, before, some months before the election, we were even tired of reading stories about endorsements. In fact, at a point, I told them that they should stop carrying stories of his endorsement because it was filling our bulletins at that time. So
Things change
things
within
change.
3 months.
That's the way politics is. You must get your politics right. Aketi has worked hard. He moved internally generated revenue from 700 million to 2.2 billion. The last one in January was 2.2 billion. I doubt that's really tremendous at that.
For the level of Ondo State.
Yes, anyone move IGR that, well. So it's done well. Then roads, dualizing roads, even within the state capital, done well. In Akure, roads that were said to be impassable, like Kayode-Balogun, Ikare. Then look at the Ondo Industrial Hub. You can point to those as great achievements. The ethanol plant, I was there.
Masterpiece.
But performing is not enough for you to be re-elected, because on election day you need your own people to mobilize for you, to lead the voters, to guide the voters to go and vote for you. But if you fight against your party men, they will gang up against you. And we have seen where party men ganged up. APC lost, even in Oyo. You cannot say that Ajimobi is the best governor in the history of Oyo State.
No, on those states, APC lost there too.
Yes.
For presidential election.
Yes. So
that's
when your people gang up, when your own party men gang up, because they know your secret, they know where you want to get out the votes, and they can suppress the votes in those areas when they work with the enemy. So you have to be conscious of that. I'm going to say that APC lost to APC in Adamawa State. APC lost to APC in Bauchi State. APC lost to APC in Oyo State. In fact, in Oyo it was a rout because what's his name? GSM almost won all the local governments. I think he left just about 5 local governments or so, or 6. I can't remember now. But it was a rout. When you look at it in terms of the local government that he alone won, it was a rout, and it was because within the APC they were fighting. They did not agree with one another. Everywhere that you see the APC lost like that, go on. It almost happened in Osun now. They were just lucky in Osun. It almost happened. A state where Akeredolu used to have overwhelming support. But the infighting, the defections at the last minute and all that conspired, and they almost lost the state. So this is the thing. He has to reach out. He cannot say that, look, he's not going to beg anybody. You stoop to conquer. Leaders who always think that, oh, because I'm there, I don't have to beg people, they always regret. You stoop to conquer. Obasanjo stooped to conquer. He knew at that point, Atiku and all those governors who were behind him,
almost finished
the man from Ibori, all of them, he knew that they had him by his balls. What did he do? He begged Atiku, please.
For that time. Please.
He knew that he would only need him for a few minutes. Please, don't do it. And they were telling him. I met one of those former governors. He said, we warned him. We warned Atiku that this is your best chance ever. Don't give in. Don't give in.
President.
Yes. A better chance like that will never come again. So he didn't listen. Obasanjo pleaded with him. Obasanjo stooped to conquer. And Atiku agreed. You see, when you stoop to conquer, you get your result. So, in my view, with people like Borofis, Abraham, Ali Olanusi, Jimmy Odimayo, Olusola Oke, Oyedele, Bukola, Ife Oyedele, Bukola Adetula from Owo. He knows that his work is quite cut out. You can do all of that work, but you must get the politics right.
Okay, the GKB. Okay, look at the last election, for the presidential election. We have it on good authority that is Aketi did not support the candidature of Professor Ajayi Borofis. He wanted somebody Tuja Bayemi, and it said that it supported one other person from another party, but the Asiwaju of Akoko land still held on to Ondo North and still won that constituency. When you look at the results, at the end of the day, APC could not deliver, the presidential election as they did in Oyo State. They did not deliver to Ondo State.
Well, a divided house always have problems. I think that's the reality we are facing. And I'm very glad that Jide raised the issue of Oyo State, because it is looking the same way. Ondo State is going the same path. Because by taking drawing a line in the sand, like the governor had done now, you are telling the people that you are now free to work against the party. Because that's what happened in Oyo State. Because by the time, like you said, Ajimobi did a wonderful job as far as physical infrastructure was concerned. But it got to a point that people became disillusioned about his ipsy-topsy when it comes to who will become the bearer of the flag of the party. And so at that point in time, people are willing that anybody else but our party. It was that bad. And I have a feeling that if something is not done quickly,
group.
if something is, if it's not done quickly, we are going to enjoy, we are going to see the same scenario in Ondo State, where the governor will have the tickets, and people will go behind him. They will laugh at him. They will go to his campaign trains. They will do all that. But on the day of the election, they will vote for somebody else.
But they don't have the PDP. I don't know how strong, but how strong is the PDP in Ondo State?
PDP was non-existent in Oyo State.
Yes.
So it was a very
even in Adamawa,
yeah.
It wasn't as if they were strong. Look at Bauchi. Buhari had always done whatever he liked with votes in Bauchi. Extremely popular in that place. But look at the quarrel between the governor and first all of the National Assembly members. All of them, we fought everybody. And then other big party leaders in the state. And they told the APC leadership that, look, if we don't resolve this thing, it will cost us. But you know, in the APC, most of the time, it is the big man that the national leadership usually supports. They usually don't have the balls to support the weaker people.
Perceived.
So all the efforts, all they were doing was, okay, let us make sure that this person got the ticket. The same thing with Bindo. Let's make sure that it's Bindo that gets the ticket. They had to do primaries in the dead of night, almost midnight, doing primaries in pitch darkness. At the end of the day, the people worked against the party. And I was saying it, I said, I do not see the APC win Adamawa State. I said it clearly, even on the eve of the election when we had to predict, because I knew what was on ground. You had fought with the Babami Mongoro group, and they were the most dominant group within the APC. When we won them, some of them said, no, those structures had been inherited by someone else. I look at politicians, I laugh. That we are not professional politicians does not mean that we do not know how things pan out in the political party. You can't say those structures have been inherited. People who are aggrieved are bound to work against the choice of the party, of the national leadership. So this is the thing. Unless you properly resolve the dispute. I know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to Ondo State some time ago. I met with the aggrieved parties. But I do not see any sign that the issue has been resolved. Because if the issue had been resolved, even Aketi will not be talking in this manner. That, look, it's God that made me governor. It's God that will get me re-elected. So that all of them, all the Unity Forum members, they can't all be governor at the same time. This and that. Yeah, they can't all be governor at the same time, but they are big wigs. They are big wigs, and they can hurt their own party. So for that not to happen, there is enough time now between now and the October 10 election for them to jump in and ensure that Aketi's solid performance as governor is matched by corresponding support from within his own party. Otherwise, they could be embarrassed. Yes, you can say PDP is non-existent, but when you look at the last election, because of the same disunity, APC suffered setbacks in the National Assembly election. You know, so this is the thing. We have to, the politicians must learn to work together.
Okay, I have a caller. Thank you for joining us. Yakub, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Yakub.
And good evening, Babajide and the other gentleman. GKB, yes. Babajide have said it all. You see, I don't know why the politicians are not learned from the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of this world. You know, in just concluded election in Kogi State, the fallacy of this world, the man he ran away. He went out of the country before I actually called him back that he should work for the incumbent governor now. If not, Faleke supports the governor of Kogi State, he may not likely want that very particular local government. If the governor of Ondo State says today that I don't care whoever work with me, I can tell you, as the GKB said earlier, Babajide, I will use our language in this point. In the Yoruba, they will always say that borrow do me or renew me, Demowa. Because they may show face. You believe that they are working for you. It's the day of election, they were the ones in grassroots. You are not going to be everywhere. And then they are not going out and campaign for you. Monitor the voter. You cannot get it. That is what really happened.
Thank you, Yakub. I think that's a typical language of Nigerian politicians.
You know, that's the language of the politician who wants to work against his party. You see me, I will smile at you, they will hug, but they will go and work against the party. I've seen that happen a lot. During the Baba Saraki, Lawyer Olusola Saraki was an expert at that. Party leaders will come, he will smile at them, they will hug. They will lift up this thing. Shagari will be happy, Lawyer will come back. As soon as they leave, he will call his people. Tomorrow is the other party that you vote for. Even in 1999, when they lost the primaries of the primaries, the national, the presidential primaries, he told these people that they should vote against the candidate of the AP at that time. That was how he ended up supporting the candidate of PDP. I predicted, I told Bayo Nonoga, my boss, that I said, Saraki will work against his own party. He said, are you sure? I said, wait, sir. And that was what happened. Because I had no name to be fond of that even as a little boy. So you just have to be careful in Ondo.
All right, and finally, fear not. That is the message of Muhammadu Buhari to Nigerians following panic and concerns that have greeted the entry of the dreaded coronavirus into the country. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman, Shehu Garba, President Buhari urged Nigerians not to panic over the outbreak of the virus in the country, but observe safely precautions. The president said measures are in place at the borders and within the country to prevent the spread. GKB, do you think we've done enough to actually prevent this coronavirus?
We can never do enough, but what we can do is basically get prepared. Because things like this have a way of what are called the S factor. We have worked at the Port Harcourt Airport, Kano Airport, Abuja Lagos Airport, and the carrier may come in from somewhere in Cameroon or somewhere in Chad. And luckily in Lagos, we are lucky because a lot of the people in government are alert and they have the previous experience of Ebola to fall back upon. So that's why it's better to come in through Lagos so it can be managed. Because a lot of people will simply not report it. And they will go into the system, disappear into the hinterland, and simply die. And then the danger will have been averted if you have known. Like I said, you can never be too prepared. But as far as Lagos State is concerned, I think they are doing the next best thing, trying to contain it.
Do you know, in spite of as developed as China, China is like a pariah nation now in terms of nobody wants to do anything with China, and that thing is a big setback. Now, we can't afford to manage that kind of epidemic in Nigeria.
No, we really have to be on top of our game. I like the way the finance minister working with other stakeholders, including the Lagos State government and the Ogun State government. I like the way they've jumped in to try to stop the potential spread of this disease. And I can say that their efforts are bearing fruits. We just have to continue along that line. The danger that this constitutes is even beyond loss of lives, because it has the potential to damage the economy. If you look at a country like...
In the shortest time.
Yes, a country like New Zealand used to welcome millions of tourists from China. And New Zealand was reaping about $180 million every month from tourism alone from the Chinese. But that has stopped. Nobody wants to welcome people, from China. Shipping is suffering seriously. Any export-based country will suffer as a result of this coronavirus, and you can see that there's even fear that it could lead to a minor global recession if it is not quickly dealt with. So, as a country, we should know that our economy could be at risk. Imagine the cost of even buying telephones will go up because the bulk of the telephones that we use are from that part of the world. So if they don't come in, and Nigeria is the number one, yes. So if they don't come in, what do we do? Those who are in that business, they will be in trouble. The cost, the few telephones that manage to be squeezed into the country, their prices will go up. So the buyer is affected, the seller himself is affected. And it's the same thing with shipping and even the other...
you forgot aviation.
Yeah. So efforts must be made to ensure that we defeat this problem. I like the way the president spoke when he said, look, this is not the time to panic. Let everyone observe the safety measures and that have been outlined. So if we can do that, because the good thing about this is that the capacity of this illness to replicate itself is low. There is just a 2%
it's not like the Ebola
level of infection. Yes, it's not like Ebola, it's not like SARS. It's just 2%. So it means that with a little effort we can go far. And then of course, more than 90% of the people affected are in China. We are not in China. So we just have to do what is necessary. We can't be more worried than the Chinese, but let's just keep it simple, do what is necessary. I like what Sanwo-Olu and his deputy have done, seeing them in that gap, even though I saw the commissioner not wearing any protective clothing, but even seeing them dressed like people going to the moon is encouraging. It demonstrates seriousness, that these guys are not they are not taking this lightly at all, and that's the part that we must continue.
GKB, it happened before. It happened before, and the way Babatunde Raji Fashola, the administration that time, fought Ebola head-on, and the seriousness and everything, and many thanks to the late Dr. Adadevo that died. Rest in peace. And we are now experiencing this one with the Italian man.
Who still don't have a name.
I think that's strategic. I think they just don't want to mention his name.
Anyway, well, we know Sawyer now. We saw his picture. Yes. We know when he came in. We know what he looked like. But that's a story for another day.
They have a reason. Because if some people who have encountered the white man know that is that white man that is the index case, they would not want to be quarantined. Some of them could take to their heels.
To hurt a lot
because
of
when you are quarantined, you don't know when you.
And according to report, we were told that he's responding to treatment.
Yes. So it will be one reason they are keeping his name, so that those people don't run away.
Yes.
As of this afternoon, the report from Dr. Makoju, the Lagos State, was that the man was responding. I think the Ebola battle gave us the types of PR we've not had in a long time. All over the world, Nigeria was commended for what we did.
Even our doctors were going to Congo
to became the authority on how to combat airborne diseases of that nature. And we were consulted regularly over a period of time. And I think the Sanwo-Olu administration are also trying to do the same thing. Even the fact that when they were doing the leg greeting, it basically meant to be lighthearted. But it goes to show the level to which the government of Sanwo-Olu and Amzat are going out of their way, not only to do it, or to be seen to be doing it. Don't forget the First Lady is also a medical doctor, as well as the Deputy Governor. So I think in Lagos we are in safe hands. so far.
I think every other, some other states in the southwest are set.
Ogun State has set it. Oyo State, I think they are working on it. Basically,
and even in Kaduna, they are already setting up shelters.
And the River State is already working or something. They too have the experience of Ebola, and they too work very hard during the Amechi years. And I think the Nigerian factor would roll in when there is danger of this nature. We tend to rise above pettiness.
Yes.
And something is telling us, those that sell hand sanitizer now, they've jacked up their prices.
That is where you can even find. Because you go to some of the department stores, you find not even one bottle is there. Then this is also the season of fake hand sanitizers. You know, and the truth is, most of the antiviral drugs that we use for cold and all that will not cure this. It will not cure this ailment. So
what they are recommending is a lot of water every 15 minutes.
Yeah, we need to be aware so that.
And then wash your hands.
Once you have you suspect that this
reports.
You just have to report. Make yourself available for Medicare.
Don't go to Babalagbo
or do self-medication.
Or go to church. Go straight. Prayers will not solve this problem.
Anybody who claims now that he has what's it called? That he has anointing oil that can take your should be arrested.
And be castrated.
No, prosecuted. Don't turn it into a joke.
No, seriously,
it's a very
because
serious.
You are putting lives of people in danger. People are suffering,
he has
and
not
you are now
killed
selling
anyone.
their fake products.
It's not, castration is not even known to our laws, except you want to draft your own constitution.
Gentlemen, thank you. Gani, Kayode-Balogun.
Yes.
Apostle of castration.
Thank you for being our guest.
That's the OC that came up.
Babajide, Kolade-Otitoju, thank you for always being there. And that's our offering today. Join us for another episode tomorrow and watch Journalist Hangouts on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvc.tv. I'm Akeredolu. We'll see you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.